Hey y'all, welcome back to Trendy DIY 29, back with another video. Today we had, well, for the past couple days we've been having serious storms, high winds. It's just been out of control. So I came out today to a disaster in my garden. So I want to go over a few things that I did and a few things that I'm working on. I done started planting a few plants to get in another crop, and then next I'm gonna be starting a lot of my stuff for the fall. So as you can see, they're still eating this, but it looks way better than it's ever been, and I think that's because the heat is starting to die down. So as you can see, I cut a lot of my lemon thyme back because the lemon thyme was dying off because of the heat. But as you can see, a lot of this have grown back in the few days that it's been raining, and the rosemary is doing great. Here goes my Sumter cucumber. It's sitting over there. I'm trying to train it on this trellis right here, but it's not trying to stick. All of my peppermint right here had died, so I cut all of this brown off. It was a whole bunch. I don't know if you guys remember how wild this plant was, but it was a lot, and it all died. So look at the new growth. This is why I say do not plant peppermint directly in your garden. Put it in pots, because it will die and come back like full vengeance. So keep that in mind. But it should be big and bushy, I say, in a few more weeks. Because of the storms, my chamomile is like ruined. As you can tell, like, none of my chamomile have any of the flower petals on it, but you can still harvest these and still make tea out of them. If you ever brought chamomile dried, you'll understand, because a lot of times when you buy it dried, a lot of the little petals are off as well. So nothing. And as you guys can see, it's empty. I finally pulled it out. That was the Swiss chard that I planted too closely together. So I'm going to probably plant some more Swiss chard, or either do some yellow. I think I have some yellow green beans or either peas. One of those in the house. So I might try that. And this is the garden pea. As you guys can see, it still has the one green bean on there, and it just won't get any bigger. So I don't understand why or what's going on. It's just like, literally, this is as big as it'll grow. It's been like this for weeks. So really don't understand the logic behind that. And we come over here. I had a lot of damaged leaves. You guys can see I cleared out the box a lot. It's not as full as it normally is. But I had some insects that were just running rampant. So I cut almost all of my plants down. As you can see, cut all of it off. And you want to leave leaves on the top. Like if you have insect damage or whitefly or anything that's like super bothering your plant, and you want to try to save it, don't try to save the plant. What you want to do is you want to cut all of the leaves completely off the stalk like I did. And you want to leave some leaves on the top for photosynthesis so that your plant can grow back. And then with a few weeks, you'll have new leaf growth. And that goes for the collards. That goes for almost any type of leafy green or vegetable. As you can see, I did it with the curly kale too. I cut it all the way off, left the tops, cut all the damaged pieces off. All the pieces that had insects, eggs, all type of stuff on it, I just cut it all off. I wasn't going to try to fight it with an insecticide because I'm trying to grow as organically as possible. I've only treated my garden 3 times this year with a fungicide spray. So I'm trying to be as organic as possible. Earlier, I made a spray for whitefly. I put a little bit of warm water, some Dawn dish detergent, and a little bit of vegetable oil, and I mixed it together so that the vegetable oil can disperse into the water. That's what the Dawn is for. And then I sprayed it on my greens that had a lot of insects on them, like the whitefly. And what that's supposed to do is the oils and the Dawn is supposed to break down soft body insects. Not sure if it's going to work, but one thing I can say is that I sprayed it, and then I shook the plant an hour later and no whiteflies were on there. So I'm guessing that they do not like what I sprayed on there, so it's working. You guys can see my flowers are just getting massive. They are getting absolutely massive. There were a lot of dead ones. I cut the dead ones off, And as you can see, they're beautiful, and I plan on taking a lot of these marigold flowers, dehydrating them, and putting them probably into some almond oil so I can try to make either a massage oil or a skincare oil. I'm gonna figure it out hopefully by the end of this week. As you can see, with all the rain, I have strawberries coming in, and this is what I wanted to show you guys, because your strawberries, you really don't need that many strawberries, because they will produce more. And right here, as you guys can see these, let me see if I can show you guys better. Right here, do you see how long this is? This is called a strawberry runner, and strawberry plants send off runners. And what you can do, but by me having it in this pot, it's hard for me to do what I'm about to tell you to do. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. But you see this piece, how this is just like long. Let me zoom in. And you see this piece right here. It's like another strawberry plant. And at the bottom is like a little rooted in. So what you can do is take this piece and just sit it in the dirt. Dig it down in the dirt. And then I have another piece right here. Take this, dig it down in the dirt. Like sit it in the dirt. Don't bury. You know, you don't want to bury this. But you want to put it about this deep into the dirt. And what that's going to do is going to root itself. And then this is going to become a full strawberry plant. And I have another one. You guys can see, here goes another one. And if I had dirt for another pot, I could probably sit another pot and then dig these down in there and start another strawberry. A lot more strawberries. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do that because we're so late in the season. I'm not sure how many strawberries I'm actually going to get. And like I said, next year I definitely will be planting my strawberries differently because these were hard to find. I want to plant my strawberries probably in a strawberry tower. As you guys can see, the potatoes down here, they're falling back. They're not completely dead though. I gotta wait for them to start to yellow and brown and die, but they're falling back. My cucumber plant, I feel like this is the national pickling cucumber. There's some issues going on here. So what I did was I cleaned the container. I sprayed around the container that is sitting on with some like disinfectant and stuff to make sure that there's no type of diseases or viruses that may be on that wood or anything like that. So I cleaned that off real good to you know, help whatever bacteria to die off. And if you guys can see, there's a cucumber right there. I'm not too sure about this one because it has like little black dots on it. So I'm not sure if it's done, if it's going to be safe or not, if it's going to actually even ripen. I'm not sure what this means. I have to look into it. But you guys can see, looks like I may have something going on here. You know, I want to say that I think this is from overwatering because we've had a lot of water. And then on top of that, I water my plants almost every day, and I messed up and watered a few times, and then it poured down raining afterwards. So that's not good. And this is what happens when you overwater your cucumbers. They turn yellow. So I got to get this off of here, and I'm just going to discard it. When they turn yellow, normally that means that they are overwatered, which I'm almost 100% sure mine is overwatered because of all the rain that we had. Or it could be a fungus problem, some type of bacteria that the cucumber beetle could have introduced. If you don't know what a cucumber beetle is, you can look it up online. It's like a little small beetle. Sometimes they have like dots and stripes and stuff on their back. So, and they will mess with your squash plants, your cucumber plants, any type of plants like that. But if you guys can see, I really cleaned this up a lot, like today. I'm stepping in my pile because I had raked some leaves today. I don't even have a tree in my yard, but there's a giant tree 2 yards over, so it throws stuff in my yard. You guys can see, look at this, the Homestead Tomatoes. If you guys remember the video when we planted the seeds, we have even more coming in. This was another one that was insect damage, but look how good it came back. I cut all this stuff off. I let it just come back. When it comes to leafy greens, when it comes to almost any plant, don't try to save it. Just cut all of the stuff off and restart over. Like, seriously, like I did with these. These two collard plants were massively infested with whitefly. And so that is what made me, you know, cut all of it. And I mean, these plants were huge and massive. It was so much kale on here. It hurt me to cut it, but I know within like 3 to 6 weeks, they'll be big and giant again, because I'm trying to get a lot of kale and stuff for Thanksgiving that's coming up. So Thanksgiving, I plan on making a lot of stuff out of my garden as sides, so hopefully that'll work. But you guys can see that they look very healthy, so don't be scared, you know. And this is the spearmint. It actually went to flower. It was covered in white fuzzy flowers. I cut off all the flowers to try to get it to not, because I didn't want it to go to seed, so I cut the flowers off. That's some more mint right there. It's doing excellent. This is the beefsteak tomato. You see, we still have some tomatoes on there. There's one red one. So I'm gonna harvest some of these tomatoes, guys. I actually purchased a canner the other day, a pressure canner, because I want to get into canning. And I already have a dehydrator, so I already have dehydrated some stuff like tomatoes, but I want to get into canning as well, because canning will help me to be able to store stuff in you know, sauces, tomatoes whole, meats, stews, soups, anything you can think of, you can can it almost. Besides like dairy products, they say you're not supposed to can dairy products. I wouldn't even want to try to do that, but I just don't want to waste anything out of my garden, so I'm going to be canning and I'm going to be dehydrating, and I will be doing a video later on today with that. These are my patio hybrid tomatoes, so let's get these off. And I have a lot of these. And one thing, if you're going to be canning, you want to try to use, you want to can, you try to can as close to the day that you harvested as possible, okay? And you want to only use fruits that have no insect damage, and you don't want to use anything that's too overly ripe. So I have a lot of tomatoes in my refrigerator that are like super overly ripe because I did not do anything with them. So I'm thinking with those ones, I may try to do the dehydrator method. But then again, I might make pasta sometimes this week, so I might just make a few jars of sauce as well, so that you know, I can utilize them, because there's a lot, and I wish that I would have done something with them. So whatever you do, do not pick your produce until you have a plan on what to do with them, because mine started to started to ripen fast as crap inside the house, because my house, you know, I had it sitting in the window, and a lot of times I don't have my AC on if I'm not home, and my house is pretty cool, so I tend to not use that much AC. So they were like ripening fast because my house was like 70, 80 something degrees probably. It's where I had them sitting in the window. But I'm probably going to do these ones whole. So you guys stay tuned. It will be a video on dehydrating and canning. I've never canned before. I've watched a lot of videos. I've read a lot of literature. And finally, I feel like, okay, I'm ready to try this. Because I like over-research stuff when I try to figure it out. So, let me take this around, because there's more. And I'm also going to do some pickled green tomatoes as well. But I'm going to wait till the end of the season, when I might have some tomatoes that didn't get to turn red, but, you know, it's too cold for them to continue to grow. So I'll pick them then green, because I don't want to pick anything green that could potentially be you guys see this one? Technically I could pick this one, but I'm just not going to. Why do it? But these are what I got. And you guys know I just got another, I got a harvest the other day. You guys seen that video, but look how fast this stuff grows. Like, seriously, I'm not playing. Like, this is a lot. This is more than enough for a family. And I'm gonna pick my ones off of here. They've been getting a lot of good water, so I'm going to try to make them not dry out. Because if you let them dry out, only thing that's going to happen is that you're going to end up with cracked fruit. Like I showed you in the previous video, I had a lot of crack. And this is a DIY I did today, guys. I didn't film it because I was not sure what I was doing, to be honest. But I got a pack of the 6-foot bamboo sticks from Home Depot. My boyfriend, he shaved them down on the bottom so that they would be sharp so I could stab them in. And I put them into the ground. And if you guys can see, I made like 2 little teepees. And I put a stick across for stability. And then I put, if you guys can see, 2 more sticks across, well 4 more sticks across to make a little square. And I ran out of sticks, but what I plan on doing is taking more sticks and doing it across, almost making shelves, so that when, as you guys can see, there's a watermelon right here I'm training. When the watermelon starts to get big, it'll have something that I can tie it to and that I can rest the melon on, because I want to keep it off the ground. And this right here is this winter squash that I have, and I just threw it up here. I'm really, because I need more bamboo sticks because this one is really long, if you guys can see. And I'm trying to find, look, there's a baby squash right there. And this is going to be, this is the winter squash blend variety. So there's all different types of squash that could be grown. And you guys see, it's so cute. It's going to be like a little, I'm not sure what type of squash it's going to be, but looks like it's going to be like a pumpkin shaped squash. And as you guys can see, these will start to root too. You can lay these on the ground and root them out. I was going to lay them on the ground, but I think I'm going to dig like a trench and then lay them on the ground or something, because my grass grows really fast and the grass will strangle and kill them. So I got them off the ground until I figure out what I'm going to do. Or I might get a pot and put a pot of dirt underneath, like one of those long pots, and just let it trail out along the pot. Haven't made a decision yet. And over here is the cucumber, and I got the cucumber spiraling up here, and I'm gonna try to train this cucumber to grow. And I'll probably, and how I extended this stick was so that on each side is so that if I want, I can add more of these teepees further down, which I might add another one for the cucumber, because it may get wild. You guys can see the kohlrabi is finally doing good because it's not hot like that. More jalapenos, more banana peppers. Like, once you get your garden going, you maintain it, you get a lot. And I planted some other things I wanted to show you guys. I ripped out the sugar snap peas. You can actually get in like another 2 or 3 harvests from this. So I planted more in this one. I think I planted about maybe 6 plants in here, but if you look real close, they're already coming through the soil. So in about a month, basically in about like 3 weeks or so, I should see something. I'll take you guys around. And this is something else that I planted. Remember, I had carrots in here, which was too not deep enough, but I planted some more of those garden beans because the garden beans were not doing well. So I planted them here, and as you can see, the garden beans have already came in because I want to have green beans for Thanksgiving. So I'm probably going to plant more of these. I have 3 in here because they're supposed to be about 12 to 18 inches apart. So I tried my luck by doing them about 9 to 10 inches apart. And I got to get another container, and I'm going to probably do about 8 to 10 more of these. And the melons, I need to figure out what's going on with my melons, because as you guys can see, I have some brownishness. I'm not sure if this could be from the sun, because we've been having really, really hot days. So it could just be sun damage, but I'm not sure yet. So until I know if it's sun damage, I'm going to be worried. So I'm going to have to do some research. But you guys look, I have my watermelon. Here goes 1. Here goes 2. Watermelons is a patience plant. You put them in, don't expect anything for months. So I probably won't have a watermelon to actually cut and eat maybe until about September. Probably. I'm thinking. Because my frost date, it got pushed back. If you're in Maryland Zone 7, our frost date got pushed back. So we have until about October now for our last frost. But I'm going to keep my eye on that because it changes all the time. But that's another angle of the little trellis that I got. And I thought it was like, it's cute and it's very inexpensive. I think it's $3 for a pack of 5 of these sticks. It's like 5 or 6 sticks in a pack for $3, which is not bad. Because if I would have brought like a trellis like that, they were like $25 a piece. And I did want big, beautiful metal spirally trellises, but I'm trying to keep it the price down because I've already spent like $700 on like all the stuff that I brought for the garden this year. So, and then with the storm, I lost 2 of my lights, my little, you know, garden lamps. Like you see the globes that I have. One of those broke. Then I have a light up bird. That one broke, so I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fix that. And on this side, this is another winter squash plant. And you can see this one's not as long, but it has a flower on there. And you can see that it's going to probably start to produce something. And this is the winter squash plant. I'm going to put in some pumpkins probably in a week or so. But I'm actually thinking, guys, about finding a small little area, because my yard is not that big, as you can see, but find a small little area and then get like a cheap little fence to put around it so that I know where it is. My boyfriend doesn't mow it over with the lawnmower. And I'm going to probably plant like a little baby pumpkin patch because I really don't have space. I don't want to pull any of this out. Now, yeah, once the frost comes, my pepper plants are going to die. But I want to do some research and see how, like, maybe I could move the pepper plants inside the house, and could I grow them in the house over winter. Like, these are things I want to know before I just call myself ripping stuff out of my garden because I know it's about to be the end. Because I do have grow lights and stuff like that. So guys, this is the garden. This is how I like straightened it up today. I feel like it looks really, really good now because it was a mess. Like, if only you guys could have seen, maybe I should have filmed it so you guys could see it, but it was crazy. It was like so much dead stuff. It was stuff that had fell over because of the wind. There were leaves everywhere. As you can see, I cleaned those up. And I wanted to show you guys this too. I forgot. As you guys can see, the onions are dying back, so they're almost ready. This is what you want to see, but this is still kind of green. And if I wanted, I could chop some of this off, which I probably will do, take it in the house, dehydrate it, and have some chive, which I probably will do. And if you look in here, guys, look at all of these. Look at all of these onions, and it smells so strong. So I'm not sure. I'm going to look into and see if I can get another thing of onions in, but I doubt it. But onions, I believe, can grow throughout the fall. So I'm going to look that up. And hopefully if they do, I'll be planting another batch of onions as well as another batch of potatoes. Marigolds on this side finally grew, putting off more flowers. This is my cabbage. I'm so proud of it. And this is with like no insecticide. I only sprayed it, only did 3 treatments this whole summer for my garden. And that was like 2 months ago. So this is just strictly water coming out, checking the leaves. I always check the leaves. Look for egg sacs. If I see them, I scrape them off. I dig all down in here with like a barbecue skewer or like a what do you call it, a popsicle stick, and I dig back and see, because sometimes there'll be eggs in here, like I showed you guys in that last video with that nasty stuff that I threw that plant away. So I'm trying to make sure that this is good, because that means that I'll have like 3 heads of cabbage, which is really great for Thanksgiving. Jalapenos came back in, and look guys, the cayens are red. I came out here almost passed out. Like, look, they look fake. Look how red these are, man. They are beautiful. And you can pick them when they're green. It doesn't really matter. The longer you leave a pepper on the plant, the hotter they become. So just remember that. So those are just beautiful. And I'm probably going to make my own spice blend, or maybe some chili oil. I'm not sure, but a little bit goes a long way. And hopefully, I don't necessarily see any other pods coming in. Well, I do, a few, like 2. But hopefully I can get more than just, what is this? 3, I have 4 so far. And this pepper plant, guys, it still haven't grown anything. I don't know. Because I know pepper plants are one of those things you can actually get away with sowing more. Because as you can see, I have 4 pepper plants in this one thing, but this one is just not growing anything. So I don't know what's up with that. This is the basil. It had giant flowers on it too, so it probably doesn't taste well. but I'll probably dry this out and use this in maybe a bath or some type of soap or something. I'm gonna look up some of the benefits of basil for the body, because I don't want to throw this away. I could dry this, dehydrate this, and I can put it in one of my scrubs, in one of my bath salts, or I can infuse it in some almond oil. So I'm gonna figure that out, because I'm actually trying to come out with something that's for eczema. I really want to make something for eczema. So guys, this is the tour. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's been going on in the garden, and hopefully you guys will tune back in. Make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe, and make sure that you tune back in for another episode. And I'm gonna go in the house and get these ready. I'm gonna film the next video, so make sure you tune in, and we're gonna learn how to process your fruits and vegetables or whatever you're growing in your garden, how to preserve them. So I'm going to go through different methods and take you along on the journey with me. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe.